Morning.
Morning, Bill. How are you this morning?
Okay. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm looking forward to the morning you say you're good.
I go through this with my wife also.
Oh dear. Am I in the class with your wife?
No, just okay, is my standard response. I mean, there's always something going on.
Yes, there is. There is, but
No, no, I
don't
feel good.
dwell on it. uh,
Yeah, I did a different walk yesterday. I walked every day in essence. And there's a street just up from us here, Goose Hill, that goes straight up for maybe half a mile.
uh-huh.
And I hadn't done it since before my knee operation, so I gave it a try yesterday and made it. So,
Good. How's your knee?
the knee is fine. It
Good.
held nicely. So I puffed a little bit, but
Well, yes. I, uh, I think back to what I did when I was in China, and I couldn't even begin to do a fraction of it now.
yeah, up the holy mountains.
Yeah. Yep. I'm glad I did it when I did.
Yes, I have quite a number of those trips
Yeah.
for various reasons.
Yeah. Well, there he is.
Good morning.
Yep.
Hey, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
So,
morning.
How is Florida today?
um, it's good. It's a little bit chilly for Florida, but for Connecticut, it would be quite warm. In mid 50s,
Oh, good.
but everything's good.
Good.
Yeah.
And better than California.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
not drowning.
They get hit with so much stuff out there. Good, you know, and then
Yeah.
wildfires and earthquakes. Oh my God.
Mudslides, floods.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's and amazingly, it's the property values out there just keep skyrocketing. I mean,
yeah.
they're unpurchasable as far as I'm concerned. It's just so expensive to live out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how my boys do it. um,
But he's up north, right?
yeah, Zach and Hannah are in San Francisco,
Yeah, yeah.
and Dylan has been north of there, although he's spending this winter in Arizona.
Oh,
Huh,
what part?
Okay, I think he's near Tucson.
Oh,
He has a friend down there that he is staying with, and he's been working down there.
right,
And he's enjoying it. He says he doesn't want to be there in the summer, but
right.
in the
I like
winter.
Arizona. I've been there a couple times. We were there a couple years ago, and I like
Uh-huh.
Arizona. Yeah,
I've never been in Arizona.
I'm surprised you've never been to Sedona, given their popularity for the energy vortexes and that
Yeah.
type of culture.
I've wanted to go to Rick's annual workshop
yeah, yeah.
down there. Uh,
Yeah,
I just can't afford the trip.
Yeah,
yeah.
uh, it,
yeah. I mean, of the same mind. I mean, it comes up every every year, and I say, I've been in Sedona, and I'd like to go back, but not at that price.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we stayed when we went a couple years ago. We stayed at a Airbnb over in Flagstaff, so it was a little
Oh,
bit of a drive, but it was a great Airbnb. It was like $70 or $80 a night for a full floor of a
Wow.
house, and it
wow.
was really good. Yeah, we went in February or March, so it was colder at that time, but it was really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, who knows?
Yeah, right, you never know.
So, Jeff, did I send you the three Dantians?
No, I haven't gotten it yet, and I,
Oh,
and I forgot about it, to be honest. So that's why I didn't ask you about it. So
yeah. Bugged me
that's
if
fine.
I bugged me if I don't do it. I'll try to do it.
I will try and remember.
You know, my problem is I have as far as this class is concerned, I have a 1 o'clock class today, and so
Right,
I finish this up, I have lunch, and I go right back into another class.
right, right.
So it's mid to late afternoon when I sit down at my computer, and I've forgotten by that time what I
I'm
said
going
I
to send
would
you a
do.
very quick text right now, just as a reminder.
Good. Wouldn't be a bad idea at all.
Yeah, kind of look you up, and there we go.
So, questions, reports,
No,
failures, successes.
okay, done.
Yes.
Nothing new for me right now. No.
Yeah.
Anything for you, Bill?
No, not really.
Okay.
You,
Um,
you know what I wouldn't mind seeing one more time, David, is remember last week going from Goose around to this. It was a different
oh, yeah,
hands.
the
I wouldn't mind
double
seeing that one more time with the explanation of the rotation
and
of the hands. With the bend.
and the double separation of the arms. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that one more time, a little slower.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
you were going to do a little bit on the spine stretch also.
Oh yes, thank you
Yeah,
for remembering that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'll do that towards the end.
Okay.
yeah,
Um,
that'll be good for me for sure.
actually, I'll try to send that handout too. Um,
Okay,
we really need to spend more than a little bit of time on that because in order to do it correctly and not
right.
hurt yourself, it it really isn't something you just take 5 minutes and do.
Mm.
Uh, if is there any part of this that's like that? I don't. um, in
Well,
looking at
most everything else seems to take years. So,
yeah, right, exactly,
Not a lifetime.
yeah, or multiple lifetimes.
Right.
um, in reviewing the last class, there was one thing I wanted to mention to each of you, and I'll just throw that out to begin with. Um, Jeff, when you go into shoulder stroke, don't lift your shoulder. I realized in watching you that as you rotated into the final part of that movement, you were lifting and emphasizing the shoulder.
Wow.
And the thing that helped me to let go of that, because our tendency, because in the West we usually translate cow as shoulder stroke,
Right.
we focus on the shoulder and we push the shoulder out. Um, and Bruce points out that a more accurate translation is bump,
Right.
and it refers not necessarily to the shoulder. You could be hitting with any part of the body.
Right.
So let go of lifting the shoulder when you go into shoulder stroke.
Okay. I didn't even realize I was doing it. So yeah.
I don't think you did. I hadn't caught it before. Because I was looking for that.
But I do I have you have talked about bump versus shoulder stroke in the past, but in my mind still presently I do think of it only as shoulder stroke. So now I will try and focus more on bump than
Yeah.
shoulder.
Well, I went through kind of the same thing, being very focused on the shoulder and then
Right.
um, being able to think about it as bump was an improvement.
And when I do think about it as shoulder stroke, I do consequently think of it as trying to uproot somebody too. So that I think that kind of affects my subconsciously using that shoulder that way as well.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and Bill, for you, going into single whip, um, I realized that I wanted to do this close here where you could see me. Um, that when you go into the final part of this, notice that the arms are separating. So part of that twisting in and bending in is actually bringing the arms in a little more towards the center, so that as you rotate and shift into the posture, it can actually separate.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I've been bringing them in
Yeah,
apart.
your
Yeah,
your tendency is just to sort of
yeah.
bring them up.
Okay,
Uh,
got it.
Small detail, but it'll make a difference in that
Yeah.
posture. Um, so, since you raised it, let me go to down and under.
Right.
So, oh, however, I'll do it in different angles, but um, yeah, I need to face you in order for you to see that what I'm doing. So you've gone here. As you go back, that first twisting in and separating is the left is going up and the right is going down. And when you begin to go back onto the right foot, the right begins to rise and the left goes down into down and under. So follow and focus, and you're twisting in, separating this direction, and then going out. Yes?
Yeah. Is there a step at the end?
Usually you have to let that left foot float into positions when you get onto 100% on the right.
One more time, please.
So, um, you know what? I'll take the arms away. So you've done follow and focus, and you step back. You're rotating on the right heel, and then rotating and rising, and you're turning on the left toe, and going to 100% on the right allows you to allow that left foot to to float to the cat stance.
Right. Okay.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You want to try that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to rush that left foot. That can float right at the last moment. Uh-huh.
That
Good.
was better. I wasn't doing nearly enough of drawing in and rotating in and twisting in and all of that. I was
Yep.
just kind of,
Yeah, you want to let that twisting is constant through that.
it's definitely a difference I'm noticing.
Good. You want to try that, Bill?
Yep.
So go back and do it half as fast. Take your time. Let yourself go through each part. Okay, so but part of the problem is that you're landing on that left foot. It's an empty step, like all the rest of the steps. That was better. Um, when you first step back and begin to rotate, the arms start twisting in, and there is a definite separation of the left going up and the right going down. Too sudden. Too sudden. It's it's happening gradually.
Okay.
Yeah, good. And then the um, let me change the camera here. Um, I'm just trying to find an angle because I want to turn. I want to, okay, go this way. That's what I want. Okay. So you're going back onto that left and twisting and separating, and then you're going on to the right, and the hands, which at this point are kind of on the side, are on the side channels,
Mm-hmm.
they actually are going to come in a little towards each other and then noticeably separate out. So the movement here, if I were just to do that, what happens with that last turn is that the hands come in and go out. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I think just watching you, my initial step with the left foot going, is rotating too far.
That could be.
Um, there's a balance problem there for me, which is probably why I was landing on it.
Yeah. If you go too far, it'll take you off balance, sure.
Yep,
Yep. And and you have that adjustment, that final adjustment
right, right.
where you can allow that left foot to float to the correct position. So you don't have to it doesn't have to be there to begin with.
Okay.
Other questions there?
Nope.
Okay.
Seemingly simple, but
It's all simple. It ain't easy. um, so uh, we had stopped with well, I can do the posture. I can't say its name today. Um, well, you know
subdue,
where we stopped.
subdue,
Yeah.
do.
It'll come to me.
Definitely.
So why don't you flow up to that point, and then we'll look at what follows.
Okay.
There is a slight tilt, David. It's kind of unavoidable on my camera because I'm over here, the camera and everything's over there, and I have to turn it. So there is a slight tilt I'm noticing.
Yeah, it makes it look like you've exceeded your dynamic limit when you
It makes it
haven't.
look like I'm leaning too, and I've been trying to adjust that, and I can't really do it so that it's just right. Looks like I'm going a little that way.
Bill, I'm gonna stop you. Go back and do it again, and I feel like you're rushing.
Huh,
Um,
okay.
uh, so let it slow down a little bit, because it'll give you more time to do the twisting, because it's a really complex sequence. Um, and eventually you can do it quickly. Eventually, absolutely, but until you have it fully under control and incorporated into your internal body, good. Good. Okay. Good. Any questions come up for you in there, Jeff?
No, no.
It's looking better.
Yeah, I did. I've changed my whole thought process about shoulder stroke there.
Yeah, you can think of it as actually bumping with the, you could, maybe you're bumping with the hip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that you said that to me in the past, and that is what I think of now when I think of bump. This is what.
yeah. So you just take the emphasis away from the shoulder. Good. Um, so as you go into separate leg, the end of the kick, because that's where we hadn't continued to yet.
If you could kind of review the timing of that a little bit too, I'm always just a little bit unclear about. I know the kick starts first, and then this kicks in.
Yeah, it's difficult, and I admit that I'm not. I certainly don't have it perfect myself. I expect you to do better than I do, Jeff, on that.
The
And
hands,
a bit.
I feel like I'm flailing them out a little bit further than I probably should as well. You know, when I do the kick, I think I'm going too far probably, but
Yeah, it doesn't. You know, certainly initially it doesn't have to be. Um, boom, 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 boom. We come to here. So it's a little hard to feel the extension and the twisting out here because there's not a lot of movement or space for the movement. Um, and then when you go forward onto that left foot, you're twisting in. So you're here, and this is, as you go in, this is twisting in and dropping the elbows. so that you come into this position of preparation to go into the kick. And the ideal here is that you twist into here, and then there is the kick followed by the strike of the right blade. So that it's really ideally 1-2.
What is the left hand doing at that point?
It's balance. It's reminding you that energy is also going back as you're going forward.
Okay.
So the right hand is or on the first kick, it's the right foot, and the right hand is actually also then striking after the foot strikes.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't really thinking of that as a second strike, actually.
Yeah. Well, we haven't really talked about it all that much. So we get twisted into this point, and then it's kick strike, and come back in again, and step, and you do the same thing on the other side. Boom, boom. So not an easy one, and of course the kick and the strike out is a twisting out, and you're ideally striking with a blade hand. You're not hitting with an open hand. So you've gone to a blade hand, pulled everything together, and hitting with the edge of the hand.
And that strike is below the shoulder height.
Yeah, just below.
Okay.
It
Because mine has been going up to the stratosphere.
Oh, you've been up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah, it's here, and it's in the same direction as your kick.
Yep.
What did I want to say there? So, kick, strike, step, boom. And then in and kick, strike, and twist in and step back. So do you have any questions about that?
So the timing of the strike with the hand on the same side as the kick. The kick goes first, and then the hand strike starts before.
It's,
Kick of the hand is like right after it.
yeah, it really is 1-2. Boom, boom.
All right. I always used to do it simultaneous, and that's what I'm trying to.
I'm sorry?
I always used to do it at the same time, which I'm trying to break that mental habit.
Yep. Yep. No, I understand.
So it's strike, strike, but then we draw them both in together.
Yes. Twisting in and then out into the other
Right. Okay.
subdue.
And I just want to make sure that I'm clear on the timing of all that.
Yep.
I also have a question about the kick. When we started, we were doing a circularity to that
No,
kick.
right?
Yeah. So
I'm still confused about that.
I lost that. Actually, I forgot about that.
so that's the ideal, but I have discovered that a lot of people have a real problem with doing that. But yes, the ideal is that kick is a circular kick. So there's a little movement of the dantian here. It's not real obvious as you do that. But that's, and what I would say is in working on that hook kick, um, you want to make it small to begin with, because
Yeah.
the further out you get from the body, the harder it is. So it can be very small to begin with. But the timing is pretty much the same, the kick and strike. Does that?
Yes, that clarifies that. Uh,
But
whether we can
if
do
you
it or not
find
is a
if
question.
you find doing the hook is too difficult to begin with, then just do a straight kick.
Uh, well, I'd rather do it right and keep working on it to get there. So,
Yeah, but there's not a right here.
okay.
Um, it could be either one.
Yeah.
That's a so. Do you have another question there, Jeff?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Um, so after you've done the left kick and strike, you're twisting and stepping back and turning on the right heel, and the arms are just twisting in. As you come onto the right, they begin to rise, and you go right into a kick with the left heel, and then step. So after the kick with the left heel, so you have kick and you twist back to a slight angle to the right, so that you have a little bit of turn to step, and you can continue rotating as you go forward into single whip, facing directly to the side. So,
Two quick questions,
yep,
David. That single whip is to the side. It's not to a corner.
it's to the side. It is not to the corner.
All right. Um, and the kick with left heel, that one is simultaneous with the hand strike, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Anything for you, Bill?
No, although it looks like I am uh, after the strike and going into single whip, my left foot is stepping to the side rather than yours is a lot more front than mine when I finish that posture.
Well, it should be straight to the right side. It's not going to the corner. Either
Right.
one of those.
Okay.
They're straight to the side in this case.
Okay.
I had been over rotating another eight to that front corner.
Yeah, nope, nope. So after the kick strike, you step back, you're rotating and twisting in. You, of course, twisting out as you kick and twisting back in, and then step and twist out into single whip. And maybe we'll just stop at that point for the moment.
On that single whip, are you facing to the corner?
No.
That's also to the side.
Side. Yeah.
Oh,
And you're not facing fully to the side with the body. The feet are in a bow stance straight to the right side.
Okay.
But because of the posture,
Right.
the fact that the left hand has to go out over the left foot,
Right.
it's not going to turn to face the side because then you would be to the corner,
Mm. Okay.
right?
Okay.
So
Yep.
if you remember that this single whip, the left hand goes out over the left foot. It's true when it's straight ahead or when we're facing forward, and it's true when we're facing the side.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Sorry if I wasn't clear about that before.
Yeah, no, these are just a lot of little things I think I've lost the finer points on over time as far as specifically corner or side, and you know,
Yeah.
good that we're re-clarifying everything.
Well, that's that's what this is all about.
Right. Right.
So, why don't you go back to the end of wave hands? Ah, that's not what I want. I, and flow from the end of wave hands through this section. Okay, Bill. So, lift hand. Um, just looks to me like you're not clear about what's happening there. Um, so let me go through it again and just see if I can clarify that a little bit. So when you've gone to single whip, it starts the same way um, that we did earlier. So there's a shift, and the left hand goes up, and the right starts down. They are beginning to bend in, and even very subtly to twist in. And then you have the sweep back, and the right toe touches with the right palm beside the thigh, and the left hand has come in, deflecting in, and then you continue turning left, which allows both hands to turn over and bend and twist in and center in front of the torso. And then as you rotate right, they separate, just pulling apart, and there is a twisting out as they go into that final position. Um, it just felt that the definition of all of that had kind of gotten muddied a bit. So you're in single whip, so you're a little more weight on the left than the right. You shift to 100%. You sweep and touch, empty step, turning left, and then turning right, and extend and twist out into lift hand. Question, Bill?
No.
So have you been doing it with me?
Yep.
So do it again. I'll turn around this way just so there's maybe less confusion. So you're weighted a little bit on the left foot. So shift, touch, step, rotate and shift, extend into that position. Any questions there?
No, I think I wasn't rotating in time.
Hmm. Good.
I don't know what else I was doing in there, but uh, I think I was slow to begin that rotation.
Yeah. Okay, as long as you feel like you understand what you want to do now.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Good.
Thank you.
You want to flow, Jeff?
All right. From right here again.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Um, what I would like you to do is to go turn so that you do lift hands sideways to me.
So start over here.
No, the other way. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's the right hand that's forward, not the left.
All right. Can you do it again?
Yeah,
Right.
good. I think the other thing I would say is remember that the hands are more centered than usual, and actually when you finish, the thumbs are overlapping
Right.
slightly,
That
so
I know.
on the center line.
Right.
Uh, and I said the wrong thing. The left hand is forward. You were right, Jeff. I don't know what I was thinking.
Right.
I realized I was thinking wrongly there. Boom, boom. No, the left hand is forward.
That's like separate them too much. I feel like I'm not maybe doing that. I'm trying to keep the thumbs overlapped, like you said, but I think I tend to do too much arm movement there.
You tend to separate to the side rather than stretch in the middle.
Okay. That's why I didn't do it right there.
Uh-huh. Keep going. Good. Um, the transition from left hand into high pat. Um, you want to You're really rotating all the way through that.
Oh, I shift first, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to break that habit. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's better. Um, um, so you want to, but that's part of rounding the corner here, Jeff, is you go into this and then you turn. That just rounds that corner. But my weight is already starting back. And you continue on back and then up, up into this one. And remember, this is only um, left hand in front of the quad, right hand in front of the shoulders nest. Yeah.
I've been doing this first and then rotating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the difference now is rotating initially with the shift.
Yep. You got it. Yeah.
Final hands are like that.
I'm sorry.
Final hand position is about like this.
Um, yep.
Uh,
Yep. That looks better, Bill.
I do have some questions around weight shift,
Mm-hmm.
uh, going into left hand and through to the next posture.
Sure.
I find myself waving back and forth.
Yeah, that's. I was just going to say something about that, but you raised it, so. So, well, maybe if I do this sideways. Um, so you shift into the left foot, and you're rotating and touching, and continuing to rotate as you step. And now your weight is fully on the left foot, and you're facing in the direction actually of your left foot. And then as you rotate and shift onto the right into your bow stance, the hands separate. And then when you go into high pat, you're turning again on the right heel as everything twists in, and then on the left toe as you twist out, and you're rising there too. So when you go from lift hand to high pat, it's a continual rotation on the right heel, left toe, release. And that's another place where you can allow that left foot if it needs. It depends how big a what your stance was in single whip.
Yep.
I mean in left hand. If you're in a big bow stance, which you don't really need to be, but if you were, then you're way too wide, so you need to let that toe come in
Yeah.
to be in there. So wherever that is, um, it's a continual rotation. That answer your questions?
Yeah. Well, clearly I was not all the way on my left just before left hand.
Ah, yeah, and you know, if you really make that shift um, and really sit on that left heel, then you can make that rotation and step without too much
Okay.
difficulty.
Yep.
Um, but you have to get fully onto that left foot to begin with.
Yeah.
And that is one place in this form where you're shifting first in order to free up that left foot, circle around his foot and get in. And this, realize of course that this has the potential to be a kick in there,
Hmm. Yep.
into if it were higher, into the groin. I'm not kicking too high these days. Other questions there?
No.
Um, so what I would like you to do is to flow through this section from the end of wave hands to that single whip to the side
Yeah.
5 times.
Okay.
Okay. So, what? Any questions come for either one of you in doing that?
Oh, not questions, I'm, I find myself not very smooth through the subdue postures,
Yep.
a lot of stopping.
Yep. A- Actually, Bill, there's quite a bit of stopping all the way through for you.
Okay,
Um, very brief, tiny, but
yeah,
you want to try to keep everything continuous.
rounding the corners.
Well, yes, Jeff could round some more corners.
Always.
um, that's a it's interesting when you begin to feel the energy.
Hmm.
Um, really feel it moving inside you and begin to recognize what happens. Um, excuse me, I just thought I'd change back to where I'm talking to you and not. Whoops, that's not what I want. Get out of here. Well, that's weird.
I think that particular part, the subdued tiger and the kicks and all, is probably the hardest part to flow without stops
It
through the
is.
whole through the whole form because there's so many major balance changes. And
Yep.
thinking
Abs-
about it and where in and out and changing and kicking, and
yep.
to me,
Absolutely.
it's the hardest part of the whole form to do it smoothly without stopping at all.
Yep. Absolutely. No question.
Mm.
Um, so I think I'm going to stop there for today.
Okay.
Whew.
That's probably more than enough. um, Sometimes, really taking a section where you're having difficulty and doing it several times like that um, can be really helpful.
Mm.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Um, so uh, actually, Bruce likes to make you do it 10 times. I was being nice to you. Uh, but several repetitions can be very helpful like that.
Right.
Good thing to try. So, um, any other thoughts or questions at the moment?
Did you check on the date that we are not having class? Do you recall what it was?
No, of course not.
You can always include it when you send me the Dante, and
Yes, I will try to do that.
I
I
sent you a text at the beginning of the class as a reminder. So
Yeah, I did. I got it already. I saw. Thank you. I will try to do that. Get that date um,
okay,
so you know too. Good. Okay. Well, practice, 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 and
Yeah.
we'll continue on next time.
all right, thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Have a great week.
Yes,
Guys,
you
too.
too.
See you next
Post.
week.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay.